Mama, are you trying to stay on a food budget each and every week or each and every month? I'm going to show you how I meal plan on a food budget using what is in my pantry and getting very little from the grocery store. So follow along and let me show you what I do. I'm going to start in my pantry. I have 6 cans of tomato sauce. I have 1 jar of spaghetti sauce, and I have some black olives, a canned corn, and I have quinoa, I have a big bag of rice, I have a ton of pasta. So I know I'm going to put pasta on my menu this week. 1, because I have a ton of it, and 2, because it's going to be cold and it's a meal that I can make that can last 3 nights for us. I also have tomato sauce, I have chicken broth, I have bread flour. Isabella and I are going to make some bread this weekend. We're actually going to try. And I have plenty of snacks. I have nuts, chips, pretzels, beef jerky, beef sticks, some granola bars, and I have everything I need to bake with. Plus I have crackers, so that can be used for lunch or a snack for the kids. And I have peanut butter and cereal. Sometimes JJ likes to have cereal as a second breakfast. So we're gonna go to my fridge next. Okay. My fridge is very empty. We do not have a lot. I have eggs, which I know there's only 10 because I took 2 out this morning. We have some leftover chicken, leftover peas. So this is stuff that we're gonna use up this week for dinner, not what I'm gonna use next week. And I have apples and oranges, which I know will still be good next week. And we have a little bit of carrots and lettuce, but lettuce we'll use up this week. So I know I'm going to need some fruits and veggies. I have little hot dogs, which I'm saving for Super Bowl Sunday. We have salsa, we have coffee, we have stuff for coffee. So this is going to be a lighter trip, I think, to the grocery store. Now we're gonna go to this drawer. This is where we keep our meat and cheese and all the yogurts and snacks for kids. So we don't have a lot of yogurts for the kids, and I do have some homemade granola bars for the kids. We have juice boxes, and we have a bunch of cheese. So I can do grilled cheese and tomato soup for one day. In our fridge, I have broccoli, English muffins, hamburger rolls, rice, corn, granola bars we made, and protein balls that we made. So I have enough for snacks next week, knowing I have stuff in the freezer. I have 2 dozen eggs, so I have enough eggs for this week. I can make an egg casserole, and I can make sheet pan pancakes. I have cheese that I can use for the pasta dish. I have butter, cream cheese, and I have only 3 yogurts, and yogurts is something I like to always have on hand because that's usually the snack for the kids in the afternoon. So I will put yogurt on my list so we have enough. I have 1 gallon milk and 2 half gallons of almond milk. I will probably put 1 milk on my list. That way we have it so we can bake stuff this week and the kids can have it to drink, to make coffee with, or whatever. Okay, in here I have some chicken nuggets, not enough to get a couple lunches out of it, but at least enough to get one. I have salmon, so I can do salmon for one night. I have 2 bags of little meatballs, which will be perfect because we can either use them for lunch or I can use them for the pasta dinner. I have a ton of pizza. We do pizza every Friday night. So when Trader Joe's has our favorite pizza, I stock up on it. So I have 6 of them. And then I have 1 barbecue chicken pizza, which they can actually use for lunch. I have gnocchi, I have bagels, and I have some frozen peas and aramande. So I have enough stuff in the freezer that I can almost meal plan the entire week. I probably will need 1 or 2 things to complete some meals. Now that I know what I have, I can make a thorough meal plan. I'm talking I can meal plan for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I can even plan snacks. And I know Isabella wants to bake this weekend, so that'll get us a couple extra things. So I'm not really that concerned about snacks. The only snack thing I want to get is yogurt because we only have 3, and that's something the kids like to have in the afternoon. Plus it gives them that extra protein from lunch to dinner. So for breakfast this week, I'm going to make an egg casserole, which will last 2 to 3 days. And then I'm going to make sheet pan pancakes, which I'll put in the freezer so we can pull out Wednesday morning and the kids can have pancakes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Isabella usually makes overnight oats either Wednesday or Friday. So this week she'll make overnight oats. I had oatmeal in the pantry, so that will be breakfast for Saturday and Sunday, and they can also do bagels. I had soup in there, so we had tomato soup and ramen. So one day I'm going to do tomato soup with grilled cheese, and then 2 days will be ramen. And we have those little meatballs, so I'm gonna use the little meatballs for a lunch for the kids for 2 days. And then I'm going to get hamburger meat so we can put it inside the pasta, so there is a protein inside the pasta. I always make sure we have some type of protein for dinner. And that pretty much sums it up. We have the protein balls that I can use for a snack, and I also have the protein granola bars that we can use for a snack. So the only stuff I need to get from the grocery store this week is bananas. I just put berries because I like to see what berries actually look good. Carrots, tomatoes, cucumbers, and we will need some grapes because that's Isabella's favorite fruit right now. And for proteins, I'm gonna get hamburger meat, and I'm going to get chicken. I'm going to get another gallon of milk, and I'm going to get yogurt. So that is all I need this week from the grocery store. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things. So I can definitely stay within my budget. The good news is I have a lot of stuff that I can also use to meal plan for next week. I have a ton of rice, so I can use rice for a meal, and I have some heart-shaped pasta, which will be perfect for Valentine's Day. Knowing what is in your pantry, your fridge, and your freezer is key to meal planning. Now I know I'm not gonna buy doubles of anything. I'm only going to get what I need so I can stay within budget.
The key to grocery shopping and only making one trip a week is having a grocery list and sticking to it. I'm starting off by getting all my fruits and veggies. I like to look at the berries, and I do try to buy organic as much as possible. When I take the kids with me, I let them pick out their fruits and veggies that are on the list. When I buy protein, I make sure each kind of protein will last us 2 to 3 nights. We all eat different kinds of yogurt, so each of the kids pick out their yogurts and I grab my own.
Now that I meal plan and I went to the grocery store, I am just finishing up my meal prepping. It is about making life easier for me as a mom, and it is about having delicious food and not going over our food budget. So I used the pasta from our pantry. I did buy some hamburger meat, so I had some protein in it because I wanted to save the mini meatballs for lunch. Now, after I am done putting this casserole together, I am going to stick it in the freezer, and we can have it later on at the end of the week. So I really am only going to be cooking 2 nights this week. I am making a chicken and rice casserole, that'll be for 3 nights, and I am making this baked rigatoni casserole, which will probably last us about 3 nights. And we're gonna have our pizza on the weekend like we normally do. So meal planning can save you a ton of time, it can save you money, and it can save you many trips to the grocery store. I just went to Trader Joe's this week, and I'm able to stay within our food budget. If you wanna learn more about meal planning and meal prepping, check out the link for the Mom Method in the description below. I invite you to work with me one-on-one, and we can create meal plans that you can use over and over, that can save you time, can save you money. It's all about these routines that can make a difference in the life of a mom, especially when you have a few kids.